No one chases you when you're available. They only chase when they feel the loss. That's the part nobody admits out loud. People get comfortable when they know you're there. They get lazy when they know you'll text first. They get entitlement when they know you care more. That comfort kills attraction faster than rejection ever will. They don't come back because they miss you. That's the fairy tale version. They come back because your distance hits them in the one place they never guard: their ego. Distance makes them wonder. Silence makes them insecure. Lack of access makes them evaluate your worth for the first time. You'd be surprised how many. People only realize your value once you stop giving it out for free. When you go cold, they start replaying things. Not because nostalgia hits, because accountability hits harder when you don't have someone there to explain their behavior away. People don't miss you. They miss the version of themselves they got to be when you were around. They miss the validation, the attention, the comfort, the certainty. You made them feel wanted, admired, chosen, special, important. When you pulled away, that version of them died with the distance. Now they have to chase to get themselves back. Here's the dark psychology part. Most people don't chase love. They chase control. They chase the security of knowing you want them. They chase the feeling of winning. When you walked away, they expected you to break. They expected you to check up on them. They expected you to seek closure or reassurance. But you didn't. No texts, no updates, no explanations, just silence. Silence is louder than arguments. Distance is colder than anger, and nothing flips power faster than indifference. Distance tests ego. Silence tests power. Walking away tests value. Most people fail all three. Now they're circling back, confused why their old tactics don't work. They're shocked that you're not the same person who used to overthink every word they said. That version of you is gone. When they return, don't romanticize it. It's not destiny. It's not timing. It's not a second chance from the universe. It's cause and effect. You stopped chasing. They started realizing. You stopped caring. They started questioning. You stopped explaining. They started panicking. And here's the truth most won't accept. If someone only wants you when you pull away, they don't want you. They want control. If someone only values you when you're scarce, they never valued you when you were present. Distance didn't make you colder. It made you clearer. It showed you who they were without your attention covering their flaws. And it showed them who you are without their validation controlling your worth. That's why they came back. Not for closure. Not for love. For control. Here's what nobody tells you about people who leave and then come back. They don't return the same way they left. They return with questions, not answers. And most of those questions are about control, not closure. When distance hits, the first thing they wonder is, did I matter? Not did they love me? The ego cares about mattering more than it cares about meaning. The second thing they ask is, have I been replaced? Because no one fears loneliness. They fear being forgotten. When you gave them distance, you created uncertainty. Uncertainty breeds curiosity. Curiosity breeds attention. Attention breeds chase. They didn't expect to chase you. They expected you to keep chasing them. That's why silence is powerful. Words explain. Arguments defend. Silence makes them imagine every worst possibility without you saying a single thing. People hate imagination when it works against their ego. That's when they start reaching out. Soft at first. Subtle. Indirect. Testing the waters. A like. A comment. How have you been? A memory drop. A breadcrumb. They want access without asking for commitment. They want reassurance without providing clarity. They want validation without risking vulnerability. Breadcrumbs are not affection. They are ego maintenance. If you respond fast, they relax. If you respond slow, they spiral. If you don't respond at all, their mind goes nuclear. Distance forces them to confront the one outcome they never planned for. You, moving on. Most people don't miss you. They miss being the person you used to choose. When you stop choosing them, their identity takes a hit. Here's the psychology. People don't chase love. They chase relevance. They chase attention. They chase control. And when they feel irrelevant, ignored, or replaced, they panic. This is why they come back acting confused, acting nostalgic, acting curious, acting changed. They're not changed. They're threatened. Threat is a better motivator than love. Always has been. So they return, not to apologize, not to fix things, not to heal anything, but to see if the door is still open. If you open it, even a little, they relax again. The chase ends. The curiosity dies. The ego wins. And you go right back to the dynamic that broke you in the first place. But if the door stays closed, now things get interesting. They start replaying everything you ever did for them. Not because it was special, because it was convenient. And convenience is addictive. Distance exposes convenience. Silence exposes intentions. Moving on exposes value. That's when they realize they lost more than attention. They lost access. Access is the real currency in relationships. Once they lose access, regret becomes real. Not poetic regret. Not romantic regret. Regret rooted in power loss. And that's exactly why part 3 matters. Because the way they act after, the comeback tells you everything about what they actually want. When someone comes back after distance, watch how they act, not what they say. Words are cheap. Behavior is expensive. The first thing they do is test for access. They want to know if they still matter. They want to know if you'll drop everything for them like before. They want to know if the version of you that worshipped them is still there. If you give them instant access, the dynamic resets. They relax. The chase ends. The curiosity dies, and they drift right back into the behavior that made you pull away in the first place. But if you make them wait, something new happens. They get emotional, not because of love, because they don't like being in the weaker position. Distance flipped the script. Now they need answers. Now they need validation. Now they need control back. Here's the part nobody talks about. When they return, half of their energy is about you, and half is about defeating the version of themselves that let you go. Ego hates losing, even in relationships, so they start trying harder. They ask deeper questions. They bring up old memories. They mention things they always noticed, but never said. They get more vulnerable than before. That vulnerability is not romance. It's strategy. They believe vulnerability makes you drop your guard. And it usually does, but not this time. Because distance didn't just change them. It changed you. Now you see everything without the fog of attachment. You notice how they phrase things. You notice what they avoid. You notice the parts where accountability should sit, but doesn't. If you let them talk long enough, they eventually reveal the real reason they came back. Fear. Fear of being replaced. Fear of losing their role in your life. Fear of watching you choose someone better. Fear of realizing they never mattered as much as they thought. Fear is louder than love. People make braver moves when fear is involved. But here's the truth that lands once you've healed. You don't need them to come back. You don't need explanations. You don't need apologies. You don't need revenge. You don't even need closure. Distance gave you clarity, and clarity is more powerful than closure. Closure tries to make the past make sense. Clarity shows you why the past no longer matters. When they left, you thought you lost something valuable, but distance proved the only. thing you lost was someone who never knew how to keep you. So when they return, you get to choose. Not out of desperation, not out of loneliness, not out of validation, but out of understanding. Some people come back to rebuild. Some come back to feel relevant. Some come back to make sure you didn't upgrade. Some come back because regrets finally caught up. And some come back simply because they thought you never would leave. Whatever their reason is, remember one thing. Not everyone who returns deserves a second entrance. Sometimes, the real win isn't getting them back. It's realizing you don't want them anymore.